Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome once again to a good morning walk. Oh, well, I've started a bit earlier today, so for those of you who were like, oh, why have you started so early? Well, pretty much done it to, miss the sun. Because I don't know if you've seen for the past couple of days in the UK, it's been warm. It has been warm. So I thought I'd better sneak out just a bit earlier and we'd try and sort of beat the heat, as they say. Oh, hang on. What's that? Hang on. There we go. Oh, There we go. Marble Bunny, good morning to you. Nick B, good morning to you as well. Oh. White Rose, good morning to you. Maggie Pie, good morning to you. Catho G, good morning to you. But yes, good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome, like I say, to the good morning walk. A bit earlier than usual. But like I say, I wanted to try and beat the sun, to be honest. Guess again, it's going to be another incredibly warm day today. And to be honest, at the moment, it's just at the right temperature where you can have a nice, decent walk in the morning. You know, you don't have to slow down. You can walk at your own pace, but it's not too warm not to. If you get the idea. David, good morning to you. Oh, there you go. Pony can make up its mind about which way it wants to go. I think he's going to try and follow me through by the looks of it. Oh no, he's just going to sit in the tunnel. There we go. Slide on through. There we go. Marble, you need to bowl a hat. Nice hat, thank you very much. Like I say, I do have a ball hat, but like I say, it's not the I don't have anything for you, boys. I know you're just attracted by my shirt. Oh, it's attracted by the shirt. Oh. But again, that's the biggest problem. I hate it when people feed them because they get attracted to you. They do stuff like that. Oh dear. But yes, anyway, well, what are we going to talk about today? Geez, I don't know. What are we going to talk about? Oh. Cows over there as well, if you can see them. Yeah, horses on the food. Do you have food? Yeah, Boris. Yeah, gee. What have I been talking about all week? Oh, dearie me, dearie me. But yes, of course, Boris is still on the loose, and I mean, I think it was just unbelievable. Like I say, we went through the report on Thursday when it dropped, and I still can't believe. Mithril, good morning to you. Johnson's article in the Daily Mail. Oh, we might have to do that. We might have to do that, to be honest, at some point. Maybe I'll do that today, because that is a good point. We'll see what Boris is talking about in the Daily Mail. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me, of course, he ended up at the Daily Mail. It doesn't surprise me at all. But this is what, to be honest, a lot of us expected. Probably going back to Reagan Leak. Good morning to you. Love the hat. Thank you very much. Like I say, on a day like today, as warm as it's going to be, you're going to need a hat. Ministerial code. Well, he's no longer an MP. Like I say, compared to Nadine Dorris, who hasn't quit still, Boris has actually quit. And you are right, he might not have seek permission, but to be honest, I'm not 100% sure about the... I'm not even fully sure about, honestly, the rules, because now that he's quit, I think he can just go back just to, writing his articles, writing his nonsense that he wants to. I don't think that's going to stop him, to be honest. I think that was always part of the plan, just to, go back to writing his columns. And of course, at least, just throwing the occasional grenade across the wall, just to annoy Rishi Sunak. He shouldn't, but there isn't any punishment for it. Yeah, like I say, he's already resigned as an MP, so it's not like they can punish him. It's not like they can punish him anymore. Oh, yeah, or said she would. Yeah, good point. This is it. She's resigned. Well, she said she'll resign, but then she hasn't. And you're like, well, what are you doing? This is like, someone walking in publicly on Monday morning into your office, shouting and declaring very loudly, I quit. And then still by Friday, they haven't quit officially. It's all a bit embarrassing, to be honest. And everyone's looking at you going, well, why haven't you gone yet? It's conducting a one-woman inquiry, yeah. Jeebus. Although, speaking of inquiries, I have to sort of go after the SNP. Now, yeah, I agree with the point of the inquiry, that a inquiry into sort of the reasons, of course, in a cost of living crisis, are pretty good. But I think the inquiry needed a lot more scope. It should have gone for not only reasons behind the cost of living crisis, but also look at potential suggestions that the government could do to try and ease the cost of living crisis. That would have given it more scope. The other thing is, why on earth did they want to put 42 MPs on a committee? Yes. And it was also incredibly narrow as well, for the fact that they only just wanted to look at to see if Brexit was contributing to the cost of living crisis. And yet they were surprised when Labour didn't vote for it. Because, to be honest, it was a silly motion to put forward. I'm not going to lie, it was a silly motion to put forward. You put forward the idea of a narrow committee only being very narrowly focused on Brexit being the cause of the cost of living crisis, and then you want 42 MPs on the committee. Just what? Why do you want 42 MPs on a committee? Oh yeah, good point, Maggie Pie, yes. Douglas Adams fan, definitely. As we all know, yeah, 42 is the meaning of life. The ultimate thing is, what is the question? Oh. But yeah, that's the type of, well, really, nonsense stuff that can happen sometimes. But yeah, you do not need 42 MPs on a committee. I mean, the maximum MPs you can actually have, I believe, on a committee is 12. Yeah. I don't think you need any more than that, really. Oh. But yeah, can they be surprised that it got voted down? But yeah. Anyway, weird times. But back to Boris. Yeah, 12 angry men. Oh, so we say 12 angry MPs. But back to our original topic, because I'm sure someone would have brought it up later. I'm sure. One of the big, I think, questions going to be asked is, and still, oh, bless me. Oh dear. One of the big questions that is still going to be asked about this is, how is this vote going to go down? Oh, bless me. It's how is this vote going to go down on Monday? Because this is going to be interesting. I think the vote's going to pass. I don't think that's going to be the problem. The problem comes, first of all, from many Tory MPs who, some of them see what the committee did as just a bit harsh. And you're like, wait. I think what the committee did was entirely appropriate, sort of recommending that 90-day suspension and, of course, loss of his ex-MP pass. And, it's going to be up to MPs if they want to sort of debate that and put any amendments, of course, to the punishment of this, which could be interesting. Because we will see, ultimately, I think, the pro-Boris faction in play, trying to do something. At least keep his ex-MP pass, because, of course, that gives him a lot of their access to Parliament. But we'll see what trouble they try and cause, to be honest, on Monday. But I expect them to cause a lot, or at least be causing a lot of trouble. Purely for the fact that, of course, many of them want to save Johnson. There's still the whole stuff. There's that. Oh, hang on, Cathode G. The problem with the ex-MP pass, he's only turned up to 3 votes out of the 195 since resigning as a PM. Yeah, exactly. He hasn't actually done really his job. Yeah, a bit harsh. He should be paraded around London so that people can throw eggs and flour at him. Yeah, exactly. There's so much more, to be honest, that they could have done, and they could have, I think, recommended an expulsion. But when you read the report, I think you can understand why they've gone for like the harshest 90 days. Because they found, first of all, Johnson had committed contempt, not just once, but a couple of times. You know, not only had he lied to the House, and then he lied to the House about correcting his statement, and then he lied to the committee, and then of course there were all the attacks that he led on the committee afterwards as well. So can you really blame the committee for recommending such a 90-day suspension? And bear in mind, that's what I want to point out. Recommended. That's what the committees recommend, because they don't have the power to say, yeah, we're going to give him a 90-day suspension. And as of yet, I believe the bill around how Johnson's going to be sort of punished, I don't think has been put forward yet. But it will go forward on Monday. We'll probably see it Monday morning. What the MPs are going to sort of suggest and say, and ultimately it could be a very interesting session. But we'll see if he sort of maintains his pass. I think that's a biggie. I really think that's the biggie in all of this. Can he retain his pass? Because I think that will be a big blow to him, to be honest. And actually, I was actually having a conversation yesterday with someone who was saying, because we often talk about, well, what's the future for Boris? And I think I've said a couple of times on here and my channel, my belief is going to become a YouTuber. That's my belief. I really do think he'll become a YouTuber or become some sort of, you know, radio shock jock. But one of my friends said yesterday, what about if he ran as an independent mayor of London? And I went, well, that's a possibility. Morning. That's a possibility. That is a, like I say, never thought about that before, but that is a possibility. Boris just rerunning for it as an independent for mayor of London. That would certainly cause problems, of course, for Rishi, but I think the Tories will be out by then. By the time the next mayoral elections roll around. But yeah, he can't. I think he could certainly step up, but Boris Johnson winning again as mayor of London, don't think so. Yeah, Count Pinface would be it. That's very true. I think he would absolutely have a field day, to be honest, fighting against Boris Johnson. I think he would absolutely destroy him. Yeah. Do you reckon Londoners want another go at the Garden Bridge? Oh, potentially. But I don't think Londoners would fall for that again. I really, really don't. I think, as I've said before on here, I think Boris knows he needs a timeout, shall we say, from politics. I think he needs that timeout. Oh yeah, Tucker Carlson's job at Fox News. I don't. Maybe again he might. Like I say, he's talked about. You know, CNN are in talks with him, from what we've heard. But so far, we haven't seen if anything of those have, you know, come forward. So we'll see what happens about his future. But Boris run as independent mayor of London, not beyond the realms of possibility. If he thinks he can win, he might go for it, but I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt he would win or be able to win, because certainly the Conservatives are going to want him to lose. That's for certain. And I think they will pull out all the stops for him to try and lose, because even then I think they'll know that'll be a big draw against, against their candidate. Because as we've said before, Boris still has a lot of pull in the non-parliamentary party. So he would pull a lot of votes away. He would pull a lot of votes away from any Conservative candidate running for Mayor of London. So in any event, that could be very interesting. Thought we'd be talking about the sneaky one, but yeah, let's get back to that, because we got massively off topic, as we do occasionally on these walks. So yeah, let's go back and revisit that, because I think this is important. I think the Monday vote is going to cause a massive headache for little Rishi. And I think it starts off with what is actually put forward. What do MPs put forward? Now, going off the basis of the report, it's a 90-day suspension and losing his ex-MP pass. Now, the question then becomes, as we've heard from a lot of Tory MPs over the past 2 or 3 days ago, there is enough votes from them. So there's not going to be a no punishment verdict handed down. But I think you're going to be seeing the usual crowd vote no to try and save Boris. That's for certain. Because they're going to try anything they can, I think, to try and save him. So they're going to cause a headache on that vote, because they're going to try and amend the motion in some way, shape or form. Absolutely, they will try and amend it. It's just a question of, what do they do? How do they amend it? Do they try and maybe remove the 90-day clause, or do they try and remove the taking away his ex-MP pass, or something? There could be some sort of amendment. You could maybe see, I think, the Liberal Democrats, maybe even Labour, because they both talked about this. Of course, the Lib Dems want to remove his ex-MP allowance, his ex-PM allowance, sorry. And then Labour want him to repay all those legal fees that he had to pay. So you might see, maybe, it's whether they have, of course, the votes to do it, of course. Try and sneak those in. Now, will they be able to get that through? That's the interesting question. Can they get it through? That's a possibility. I'm not going to lie. That is a big possibility. They might be able to get it through. But it really does become what do the Conservatives do then? Because that's going to be a big move for them. Oh, so easy to get up here when it's dry. So easy, but there we go. Well, good to have a takeaway breakfast. Good to have a takeaway breakfast in the morning. Ugh. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the fun things that can happen to you when you're filming outdoors. Anyway, back to where we were. Yes, Monday's vote. So that's the two options I think facing the vast majority of Conservative MPs, because some are generally concerned that if they vote yes, that there is a lot of support still in their constituency. That Rees-Mogg's threat, of course, about them being threatened with deselection might come to pass. Because remember, Lord Carruthers and his democratic Conservative organisation. Oh, hang on. Don't know if you can see him down there. Got a bit of a frog. There he is. Don't you can see him hopping. Got a bit of a frog. Bit of a froggy down there. So with that, and with the backing of that organisation, because Carruthers has got some deep pockets, Carruthers has some very, very deep pockets, he could probably run some pretty effective deselection campaigns based on so just the Barnsley Triangle acting up again. It's able to really punish a lot of these Conservatives who do vote yes. So you're going to be seeing on Monday probably a few Conservatives abstain. And their reasoning for that is, well, I'd like to vote yes, but I don't want to upset my constituents because I know there's a lot of support for Boris Johnson amongst them. So yeah, they are in very, very a difficult situation, some of them, because some of them would love to vote yes on this, but they feel that if they do, of course, vote yes on this, that there is it sort of puts them in a bad spot. And of course, if these deselection processes do kick off, well, then the Tory civil war is really going to kick off. That will really kick off then. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But the Monday vote is going to be big problems for Rishi, because there's even questions of whether or not Rishi Sunak will even turn up at the vote. And how will Rishi vote? Well, he won't. And to be honest, if I was any opposition party member, I'd be making sure we're all there, at that vote, fill the house, and then point excruciatingly clear that, oh, where's little Rishi? Well, little Rishi's not hiding under the table, is he? Because he's been hiding all week from all this. He has been hiding all week from the consequences of this. Leah Gamings, good morning to you. Oh yes, and good morning to anyone else who's watching as well. Like I say, good morning to you. If I've missed you, say good morning. But yes, good morning to you. So he is in a very, very tricky situation, because if he does turn up, well, who's going to be, lobbing grenades over the garden wall? Oh, it's Boris Johnson, probably in his newspaper column in the Daily Mail. And are we going to be surprised? Yeah, turn up. Maybe Sunak the Hedgehog might have to go to Kiev. Yes, that's it. I had to go to Kiev. All of a suddenty. Maggie Pie, thank you very much for the super chat. Lee Smog will become a Labour donor out of spite. Oh no, I don't think he would. I said if Rees Mogg really wanted to be spiteful, I think he'd end up joining Reform, because after all, remember, Rees Mogg was one of the big advocates about that. Will Doris make a speech on Monday? Oh, possibly. I think she might. Like I say, I've been waiting all week. I've been waiting all week for Nadine Dorries to do something regarding that, but it's just a question of what will she do. I think she will do something sooner or later. The question is just what. A lot of people have been speculating the reason why she's kept her seat, why she hasn't resigned properly yet, is because she wants to keep that parliamentary privilege so that she can basically just unload on who she wants while being, incredibly protected under the parliamentary privilege. I think that makes sense. But that's again someone else you're gonna see probably become very quiet post leaving their MP ship, shall we say. Well, potentially if she doesn't get sued. Because I know James O'Brien has said, he would have loved to sort of sue her, but he can't because, of course, parliamentary privilege. But someone like Nadine Dorries isn't going to be going quiet, I think. I think she will continue to spout nonsense, and then eventually someone will, she'll say something a bit too far, and then someone will go after for her. And and then maybe she might learn a lesson. But once again, back to little Rishi. This vote on Monday is going to pass. I think it depends how they try and, of course, save Boris, or at least the mini brigade tries to save Boris. I think they'll try and put some amendments in there in some way, shape or form. I think Labour and the Lib Dems could also, if they really wanted to, could put forward what they've been asking for, which is asking for Boris to repay his defence payments, and of course his ex-PM allowance. I think that would be that could be very likely. Will it pass? I don't know. Will those amendments pass? I don't think so. But it would set a very interesting precedent that Parliament could sort of punish MPs or even Prime Ministers, post their reign. Because, well, what about Liz Truss? When she comes to it? Because there's still rumours, of course, that Liz Truss has got her honours list in the offing still at some point. And that's going to cause another big headache for Rishi Sunak. Yeah, you can trust Liz Truss. Oh, but yeah, she is going to cause, again, more headaches when her list gets shown about at some point. That's for sure. And of course, this has actually been, I want to point out, probably one of the bright spots here about Boris Johnson's honours list. Now, you might be thinking, why is there a good thing about Boris Johnson's honours list? Well, because of the people who he's made a lord. You know, you've had his parliamentary assistant who worked for him for about 6 months, and people have been asking, well, what's she got on Boris? You know, to be made a lord in that amount of time. I mean, you work for 6 months for Boris, and then you're getting a peerage, a lifetime peerage. It is time, I think, has made a lot of people go, oh, we need to talk about, you know, House of Lords reform again. And I've said this before, that we really need to have a good, strong look and start a good, proper conversation about. Oh, hang on. Ugh. Let's walk straight into a. Well, morning to you, Ben. Patrick, morning. Like I say, to those of you just joining, like I say, oh, you've started early. Yes, I started early to try and beat the heat, because it's going to be another warm one today, from what we can see. So I thought, you know what, I'll just nip out early, because otherwise it's going to get incredibly hot. I think we're looking at another high 20s, I think, by what I saw today. I think we're looking at 28 degrees it's going to get to. But yeah, it's going to be another hot one. Pretty Bird, greetings to you. Like I say, greetings to everyone joining today. Like I say, if you've joined, or you think, oh well, I've joined a bit late. Like I say, don't worry about it. I started early because, like I say, it's going to be another hot one today. Kath OG, thank you very much. Truss's honours list dodged by Sunak in PMQs. Yes, that was very true. He did dodge that question. I think you could, but that's going to be again something else. Maggie Pie, thank you very much. Liz Truss granting her cat a peerage. Oh, yeah. That's it. Who does Liz Truss, and what does she give? Hang on a second. Let me go. There we go. Clean the lens. There we go. Who does she actually give, and what to? But we need to start, I think, a proper conversation about House of Lords reform, because Boris's list has really made people actually think, well, yeah, this House of Lords stuff isn't that all cracked up to be. And I think that there we go. And I think starting that conversation about House of Lords reform is going to be, I think, something really crucial. And I think if Keir Starmer really wanted to, he should make that a Labour manifesto promise. Because I think reforming the House of Lords into something, you know, an elected system, as we've talked about before, like an elected, you know, you vote for it through PR, and you have like a House of Regional Representatives, so that every region gets, I don't know. Again, like I say, haven't put too much thought into this. This is all off the top of my head, as it always is. You give, like, you know, each region, 5, and then you have that voted in by PR. So certainly an area like Yorkshire would probably return maybe like 3 Labour, 1 Conservative, 1 Lib Dem, probably, potentially, under PR. Then, of course, again, they would go and pretty much fill the same function as the House of Lords, you know, but at least elected this time. And that would have a really big change and effect on our politics. It really would. It would be massive. And I keep on stressing just how big that change would be. And then, this is where I say, you know, all the election, you know, reform the UK election people should always be also talking about the House of Lords. put the Westminster reform on the back burner for the time being, focus on the House of Lords. Because to be honest, it's getting very, very more and more clearer that that is what people would really see. And to be honest, it's becoming such a background, a bit of a background kindling, that it could be very, very easily done and have massive support in the UK, and especially cross-party support. Because there are a lot of people that want across the political spectrum that want to get rid and especially chuck the House of Lords reform. So it is possible, it is doable. It just really becomes the question of the political will at that point, and that's why I think stepping up a campaign now. Oh, there we go. Oh, hang on. Yeah, stepping up a campaign. Ta-da. Little Foley. I don't know if you can see the one in the background there as well. There is in the background. Does Liz Truss put the lettuce on her honours list? Oh, you know what? If Liz Truss put on her honours list, if she put on her honours list, I don't know, the CEO of I don't know, like the lettuce company, like Romine Lettuce or something like that, I'll tell you what, all would be forgiven. If she did that, if she seriously, she put someone like that on her honours list, tell you what, all is forgiven, Liz. I doubt, of course, she would. So I'm pretty confident that I'm not going to have to suddenly apologise to Liz Truss. But oh, dearie me. Oh, but yeah, House of Lords reform needs to be done, and I think we really, really need to give Labour a push into doing House of Lords reform, because it needs to be in a manifesto. And certainly not if we can't do it this Parliament. Next Parliament, it should be done, but it's sustaining that conversation and sort of about these campaigns. And again, I think that this is such a massive and easy open goal at the moment. Kwarteng will probably be on our honours list. I don't think so, because I've said, if you've noticed, Kersey, he's desperately trying to distance himself. He is desperately trying to distance himself from Liz Truss. He has been trying to distance himself like crazy. So I don't think he and Truss, shall we say, are on very good terms anymore when it comes to any potential honours list. But yeah, I will keep on saying it, and I'll keep on saying it how many times it ever needs to be said. Need to reform the House of Lords. It's getting it to that point where it is becoming massively popular and massively in favour of a ton of stuff. Where did all these ponies come from? Seriously. Where did they all suddenly come from? But we'll just sneak on through. I think we've got a little follower there. Almost. But yes, oh, I say what? I don't know where they've come from. It just all appeared. I don't know if they managed to jump the fence or what. It just all appeared somewhere. Yeah, that's bizarre. But anyway, yes, like I say, thank you very much for joining me today on today's Good Morning Walk. It's been absolutely fantastic. Probably going to be really good weather again today. Oh, morning. Probably going to be really good weather again today in the UK again. That's why I've sort of snuck out just a bit early to try and beat the heat, because otherwise it gets a bit warm walking around here. Like I say, I can already feel it heating up very, very much so. But yes, as always, thank you very much again for joining me today. And stay safe. Wear sunscreen if you're going out today. Wear your hat. Always important. Always a useful safety as well. I forgot. But like I say, go out, enjoy yourselves, but remain safe. Remember to keep your sunscreen on hand, of course. Wear your hats, wear your sunglasses, all that, etc. And of course, remember, if you can't be safe, at least be sensible. And of course, as always, thank you very much for joining us today. And we'll see you all next time on the Good Morning Walk. So until then, we'll see you all very soon.